So let's discuss the properties one by one. The first property of standard deviation is, and these are the mathematical properties, okay? So something which is hence true. First one is independence of change of origin but not of scale. Now we need to understand that what do we mean by change of origin and what do we mean by change of scale. Suppose there is one data set and you calculated standard deviation for this data set, and suppose, let me assume that your answer is 4.6, your sigma is 4.6. So even if one constant gets added or subtracted to the original data, that is your change of origin, even then your answer will remain unaffected. So for example, if I add 100 to each item, this will be your new data set, and even after the addition your standard deviation will remain unaffected, and this is known as independence of the change of origin. Now what do we mean by change of scale? Change of scale means when a constant gets multiplied with the original data set or divided. If one constant gets multiplied or divides the original data set, that is known as the change of scale. As when we discussed the you can say the step deviation method, if you remember, then after applying the formula you multiplied it with the common factor, and that is the example, that is the proof that it gets impacted by the change of scale. So that is why you need to compensate it. If you divide it by the common factor, you need to multiply it with the common factor. So that is the first property. Now the next property, if you wish to calculate the standard deviation of the first n natural numbers, so suppose you are starting from 1, 2, 3 and any n natural numbers, then the standard deviation of first n natural numbers will always be this one. How come? If you remember that in mathematics sigma x is equal to n plus 1 divided by 2, and sigma x square is n plus 1 2n plus 1 divided by 6. These are the mathematical constants being given. Suppose I need to calculate the standard deviation of first n natural numbers, then what will I do? Then I will say that sigma is, by using the direct method, summation x square divided by n minus x bar square. So x bar square is nothing but sigma x by n. If I keep all the values in this formula and if I process it mathematically, then finally we will be having sigma is equal to n square minus 1 by 12. Okay, so this is the second property, that the standard deviation of the first n natural numbers will always be n square minus 1 by 12. That is the second mathematical property. Now the next, the third property is that it is capable of further mathematical treatment. It is capable of further mathematical treatment. What do we mean by that? We have done till now 4 measures of dispersion: range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, and now the standard deviation is being discussed. Now none of the other measures of dispersion is having the further, or you can say capable of further mathematical treatment. That's why we can't calculate, you can say the combined mean deviation. There is nothing like combined mean deviation, combined quartile deviation. But because this is a strong measure and mathematically strong measure, mathematically strong, I repeat, and that is the reason it is capable of further mathematical treatment, and that is why we can calculate the combined standard deviation. So in yesterday's lecture we discussed how to calculate combined standard deviation by taking the two samples 1 and 2. So how will we do that? N1 sigma 1 square plus d1 square plus N2 sigma 2 square plus d2 square divided by N1 plus N2. We considered it yesterday, we discussed it yesterday. So that shows that it is capable of further mathematical treatment. Okay, so now the next, that is the fourth property. This property says that the root mean square deviation. Now what is this root mean square deviation? This means f summation x minus a square divided by n will be minimum only if a is x bar. Now you can understand that this property is based on the property of the x bar properties. If you recall, the first property of the you can say the center tendency or arithmetic mean was deviations taken from the mean with the summation of those deviations will be 0, and the second property was that the square deviation, this part will be minimum if your this assumed mean is your arithmetic mean. So actually this property is based on the properties of arithmetic mean properties. So this component will be minimum only if your assumed mean is your mean. Okay, so this is the fourth property. Now the fifth property. Fifth property is that if we are calculating quartile deviation, mean deviation and standard deviation, then the proportion of these three will always be 10 is to 12 is to 15. This is mathematically proven that if you have a fixed data series and you are calculating the quartile deviation, mean deviation and standard deviation, okay, by using the formulas which we have discussed in the class, then always the proportion of these calculations will be 10 is to 12 is to 15. Sometimes directly these proportions can be used to make calculations. If we know the value of one, we can find others. So your QD is nothing but 2 by 3 your ST, or you can say sigma, and your MD is nothing but 4 by 5 your ST. Same way we can also find out the proportion of these two. That will be 5 is to 6. Okay, so these you can say the mathematical relations can be used to directly find values of quartile deviation, mean deviation and standard deviation. Okay, now we are going to discuss the last property, which is very important. Now before understanding that property, we need to understand the shape of the distribution. Shape of the distribution. What do we mean by shape of distribution? Suppose I have a data set and I plot frequencies here and values of x variable here. It can be discrete series, it can be continuous series. if I plot all the values and if I join all these values in a freehand manner, then this will be taking a shape, and this is known as shape of the distribution. Now this shape of the distribution, why do we need to understand the shape of the distribution? How is it connected with the standard deviation? We need to understand it. The property says in a symmetrical distribution. Now what is a symmetrical distribution? Look at this distribution. This is known as symmetrical. This is also the bell-shaped distribution. This is also known as normal distribution. This is symmetrical. In a symmetrical distribution, your mode, median and mean will be halfway, okay, and those will be equal to each other. This is known as symmetrical distribution. So now this property is connected with the symmetrical distribution. This property says that this will be your x bar. Suppose this is a data series and you have calculated mean of this distribution and also the standard deviation. This property says that if you calculate x bar plus minus 1 times standard deviation, then 68.27% items or the frequencies will be lying in between. Okay, so 1 time plus minus will give you 68.27% area. Okay, that will be covered by this. If I consider x bar plus minus 2 times standard deviation, then your 95.45% area will be covered. So it will be almost this one, and if I do x bar plus minus 3 times standard deviation, your 99.73% area will be covered. So that will be almost this much of area. Now we need not to be so much technical. Let me take one practical example and you will be in a position to understand it in a simple way. Okay, suppose that we are taking score of Rahul Dravid, okay, and I just had data of his score and it was found that he has scored 0 to 100. So if I create different class intervals and respective frequencies, okay, I just, you can say I created the data in such a way that I have prepared 0 to 10, 10 to 20 this way, and the frequency will be nothing but the number of matches in which he has scored this much of score. If I plot that data here, then 50 runs will be his. This is just simple implication. This will make you understand that how these things can practically be used. So if I say that this is his score 0 to 100, I have plotted these frequencies, and this will be mean, his mean, that on an average he has scored 50 runs each match, okay, and I calculated from this data set that CV had been 5%. What does it mean? 5% of 50, so that will be 2.5 runs. If I calculate 50 runs plus minus 2.5, which is nothing but 47.5 to 52.5, and if this data belongs to suppose 100 matches, I am going to tell you the simple interpretation from this, you can say the technical kind of distribution. If the data belongs to 1000 matches and these are the limits, then I can say that out of 1000 matches, in almost 6 682 or 683. Let me round off. In 683 matches, he has scored between these two limits. That is the interpretation. Okay? And if I say I deduct it 2 times, the general interpretation will be that in 954 matches, he has scored between these two limits. Those two limits will be 2 times standard deviation. Obviously, that will be 45 to 55. So the great stability is there. So this is your 6th property. I hope you are able to understand it clearly. If you carry any doubt, you can mention that in the comment section, or you can tell me after the video. That's all for today.